I'm gonna tell you how to get views on YouTube so that you can start getting more views instead of wasting time making content that nobody's watching. And we're starting right now. Okay, so the very first thing that we need to address as a YouTube content creator is that you need views. If you're publishing content and you're putting all that time and effort into making your videos and nobody's watching them, then, you know, kind of what's the point, right? But Nick, I just love making videos. It doesn't matter to me. I just do it all for fun. I'm gonna go ahead and correct you on that one, because if that was the case, you probably wouldn't have clicked on this video about how to get views on YouTube. Now, would you have? So the very first thing to think about when it comes to getting more views on your YouTube videos is how you're packaging up your content. And here's what I mean by packaging up. Your packaging consists of your topic, your thumbnail, and your title. Those three things, your topic, title, and your thumbnail, those are the things that are going to get somebody to click on your YouTube video. So what you want to do when you're putting your packaging together for your YouTube video is you want to make sure that your thumbnail clearly illustrates the thing that the viewer would be interested in. For example, if you're making videos about football, or you're making videos about Call of Duty, or you're making videos about food, or anything it is that you're making videos about, if you use imagery in your thumbnail that helps the people who are interested in that content identify that it's about that thing, then you're going to increase the likelihood of those people clicking on it. And another thing to think about when it comes to that is you're going to be shown on home pages next to other things that a particular viewer is also interested in. So if you can't help them identify that what you are making is something that they might be interested in, then you're stuck right there. You've lost. So make sure that the topic of your video is explicitly clear through the thumbnail imagery itself. Okay, so now let's talk about your title. When it comes to your title, the very first thing to keep in mind with your title is that you need to make sure that the thing that would be the most important to the viewer, the thing that would grab their attention, is as close to the front of your title as humanly possible, or computerly possible, you know, since we're uploading this stuff to the internet. But anyway, what you want to do is you want to go to a website called Character Count Online. It's a free website. I'll put a link to it down in the description. And what that does is that will actually show you the character count of whatever title it is that you're writing out. Then in your case, what you need to do is make sure that the thing that would be the most important or the most intriguing to the viewer to help them either identify the content or pull them over the edge to come in and see your content, make sure that falls within the first 50 characters of your title. And the reason for that is, you know how we were just talking about the homepage a minute ago? Well, one of the things that happen on the homepage of YouTube and suggestions when your videos are getting shown next to other videos on YouTube, one of the things that happen is they cut your titles off right around the 50 character mark. And that works against you, because if a viewer can't identify what your video is about as it pertains to them, then they're not gonna click on it. And we're YouTubers, so we're trying to win those clicks. Somebody's going to, might as well be us. Now, another thing to make sure that you're keeping in mind when it comes to the packaging of your video is at the very top of it, before I mentioned the topic, right? So you need to make sure that the topic that you're talking about is something that people are genuinely interested in, and that it's clear through your thumbnail and through your title exactly what it is that is important to the viewer that you are talking about through the topic of the video itself. If you want to find very popular topics or trending topics around the type of content that you make, go to trends.google.com, put the thing that you make content about in the search bar there, and then Google Trends is going to kick back some information to you based on things that are happening in your particular type of content. But you do want to make sure that you are narrowing down the date range to the last 7 days, the last day, the last 4 hours, depending on how on trend you're trying to be. And you want to make sure that you are selecting YouTube from the drop down instead of web search. That'll tell you about the activity that's happening around YouTube. But if you scroll down the page, you are going to see a related queries option that's going to show you some breakout topics around what it is that you make. And they're also going to show you some things that have, you know, like 250% more interest right now, that kind of thing. For the sake of keeping this video short, I'm not going to do a deep dive on Google Trends. You can watch other videos for that. We are going to move on to the next thing that you can do to get more views on your videos. Number 2 is research. Now, this is the part of being a content creator that a lot of content creators do not like, because it's not the fun part of being a content creator for most content creators. How many times can I say content creators within that one little clip? Content creators, content creators. When it comes to research, a few very simple things that you can do in order to make sure that you're making content around things that people actually care about are: 1, go to the YouTube search bar, start typing in the topic that you make videos about. YouTube is going to auto-complete a bunch of ways that people are looking for the thing that you're making. This is super important, not just for showing up in search, but to make sure that you're using the language that people are using to find the type of content that you make. Really important. Another thing that you can use for research is the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer. Now with the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer, all you have to do is the same idea really, where you just put your keyword or the topic that you're making your video about in the keyword box up there. And then TubeBuddy is going to kick back a bunch of information of how that particular term relates to your channel. And they help you go through the process of understanding how other people might be looking for what it is that you're making as well. An affiliate link to TubeBuddy is down in the description of this video right now, but TubeBuddy will help you do a bunch of things when it comes to growing your YouTube channel and managing your channel and all that. So make sure that you check it out. You can try it out for free through that link. Now, the next thing that you want to do when it comes to doing the research is you want to type in the YouTube search bar what it is that you're looking for, considering making content about, and you want to hit search and you want to see the other videos that come up in those search results. The reason that it's important to do this is because you need to have a unique way that you're grabbing someone's attention with what it is that you're doing. And I'm going to say that again. The reason that this is important is because you need to have a unique way to stand out against what other people are doing. For example, if you put how to do something in Call of Duty in YouTube search and then it kicks back all these results and you notice that people aren't being very compelling, guess what? Now you can be compelling when it comes to your title and your thumbnail to help you show up there and to help you get attention elsewhere on YouTube. You should also click on the videos at the top of the search results and see how they open their videos, watch some of the video to see how they're putting it together, see how they're grabbing people's attention, the viewer's attention, when they first come into the video. And instead of looking at it like you're a viewer, look at it like you're analyzing their video to figure out why people enjoy that video, because the reason that it's showing up at the top of search results is because people are responding to it in the search results. And if you can get people to respond to yours in search results, then you can take some of those spots, or you can show up for additional spots for search as well. And you can use that as one of the ways that you're getting viewers to come to your videos. In that part about being compelling that I mentioned earlier when this conversation first started, the whole idea with that is so that you can get people to click on your video more when it shows up in search, and so that people will click on your videos more when they show up on home pages and when they get recommended next to other content on YouTube. One more thing that I want to mention before we move on is that another reason that it's important to click on the videos and watch the videos that are showing up on the search results for the thing that you're wanting to make videos about is because how long you keep people watching or how satisfied viewers are when they interact with your content is a really important thing when it comes to YouTube showing your content to more people. And as YouTubers, it's super important that YouTube shows our content to more people so that they can click on it, so they can come in and watch, and then more and more people get to see our stuff, right? Hit that like button if you agree. Okay, this next thing on the list is super important when it comes to getting more views on your YouTube videos. So make sure you hear me out, listen to this whole part because it's really important. It doesn't matter if you're watching YouTube videos like this. It doesn't matter if you're listening to podcasts. It doesn't matter if you're hanging out in Clubhouse rooms and getting advice there. If you're hanging out on blogs or on Reddit getting advice there. At the end of the day, there's tons of information about YouTube. And all the information that you hear about YouTube, there's the best practice stuff, right? And the best practice stuff is what I was talking about with your titles and things like that to make sure that your content's identifiable, right? Like that's a best practice move. But you're also gonna hear things like you have to have a face in your thumbnail, or you have to use these certain colors in order to grab attention, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. But at the end of the day, we're all making different types of content. There's stuff that's proven to work across the board, and that's typically the stuff that I share here. However, a lot of the myths around like this is what you have to do in order to get a YouTube channel to get views, a lot of that stuff, it applies to some stuff and it doesn't apply to other stuff. And for clarity, stuff is the technical word for content or videos. But anyway, because there is all of this advice coming from all levels of experience that people have around YouTube, it's important that you experiment with what it is that you think might be the right approach for what it is that you're doing. Stay within the best practices in terms of the things that are proven to work for everybody, in terms of get people to click on your content at a high rate, get people to watch your videos for as long as possible, get people to engage and share share as much as you can, keep people coming back to the channel on a regular basis. All of those things are important. All of those things can help you get views, but at the end of the day, it's also important that you experiment. So if you have an idea and you're like, hey, I'm making 10-minute videos. I wonder what would happen if I started making 5-minute videos. Give it a shot. See what happens. If you're making 5-minute videos and you're like, wonder what would happen if I made a 15-minute video. Give it a shot. See what happens. Or if you're thinking of live streaming and you're like, well, I don't know if I should live stream or not. I don't know if it's good for the channel or not. Experiment. And when you experiment, one of the things that's going to happen with whatever experiment you run is you're experimenting against the people that YouTube thinks is a good fit for your content, and you are learning how to get those people to respond to what it is that you're doing, or you're learning the things they do and do not respond to, which is super important when it comes to getting views on YouTube. And another thing that is really important when it comes to just growing your YouTube channel in general and having your videos perform well on YouTube is to be able to keep people watching for a fair amount of time. Now, what fair means is different for every viewer. It's also different for every video that's published to the platform in terms of, is this a great experience for this particular user or not? If it's yes, and you're getting a lot of yeses in terms of the system identifying that your content is a great experience for the people that are interacting with it, you'll continue to get views. Your channel is going to continue to grow and everything is going to continue to be awesome. But if you can't get people to click on your content, you can't get people to watch your content for a fair amount of time, and you can't make videos about topics that people care about, then you're going to have a really hard time getting going. And that's a huge mistake that a lot of YouTubers make. And in fact, I have an entire video about 20 mistakes that YouTubers commonly make. I'll put a link to it right here. You can go ahead and click on that now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.